Back with another live stream. It's your boy, the Ben Israel, the People's Champ, the Heisenberg it is ish, the Shogun of Charlotte. We going with a little late night after dark session, and we gonna riff off a little bit for y'all insomniacs. Stay tuned, strap in with me. Hit the like button on your way in. Amnaz is already in the chat. She says, "Hey y'all." Hit the like button upon arrival. Please do so. Please do so. It's too late to be hate streaming. It's too late to be trolling. Let us know you here. You in the house with us. We want to fellowship a little bit tonight. We're gonna jump right into it. I'm not gonna long stroke you tonight. We're gonna get right into this session. We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk about vetting and ranking. That comes up a lot, that question. What are we doing wrong? What are we not doing? What are we doing? Mm. Ladies, you haven't been doing a good job of vetting or ranking men. Part of the problem, as I see it, this is my perspective. We don't we it's always an either or. Either you're quote unquote high value or you're broken or dusty. There's no in between. It's either or. And if you're high value, you're not you or if you're high earning, because that's what we're really talking about. We're not talking about value. We're talking about income. So let's tackle that again because statistics matter, and I don't know why we have have a problem with the facts. The facts are the average black man in this country makes right around $45,000 a year. That's the facts. So is that broke? What is broke? We need to come to terms on what is the dollar amount of broke and dusty. What is that dollar amount? Right? Also, we have to stop looking at income as if it's wealth. Wealth is what all other demographics of people look at, because you could be high earning and have no wealth and be living paycheck to paycheck, or you could be at 45, $50,000 a year and you actually are building wealth. Those we have to come to those terms, right? And we just kind of we take talking points that have been developed in this quote unquote manosphere space, and with no depth to them, is a very shallow understanding, if that makes sense. So if a man makes this amount of money, he must be quality or have some kind of quality. Okay. And a lot of this comes from Kevin Samuels. Unfortunately, God rest his soul, he passed away early before he could define things in a deeper sense. And a lot of people never really even watched the Kevin Samuels show, even though he was doing a complete show 5 days a week minimum for years. People only are familiar with him because of a talking point. They really don't fully understand the talking point. They don't understand the depth of what he was saying. And it's all confused, even though he detailed it. He defined high value. It has 6 points roughly that most men don't even touch. Don't even come close to it. But you listen, all of these men talk today, they all high value, or they think they are. They think they are. When Kevin himself said it was like less than 0.5% of black men who could even meet what he defined as high value. And he clearly said it's like, oh, he said I did the math. It's like 150,000, 200,000 at the most, and they're spread out through the whole country, and they typically live in cities like New York, Chicago, um, Los Angeles, San Diego, etc. So I wonder what y'all was watching, because I heard him say that multiple times. So I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? High value, as he designed it, as he defined it, were eights, nines, and tens. Pookies and Ray Rays are ones, twos, and threes. Average value men are fours, fives, and sixes. Five is right in the middle of average, dead middle. Six is slightly above average. Four is slightly below average. Right? And then when you look at average, the majority, not all, the majority of those men are in the middle class by themselves. That's the men that are making $45,000 a year or more by themselves. Right? So what the hell are y'all talking about? What the hell? And you have to adjust for inflation and cost of living depending on where you live. But as I've said for decades, black people lie. We lie to ourselves and we lie to each other. And one of the first lies that we like to tell ourselves is that we're doing better than what we actually are. That's one of the biggest lies. We're the only group of people who think like individuals. Other groups of people don't look at their individual income, they look at their household income, not their individual income. So even if you take an average man and an average woman, they can do well if they just work together. That's 45 and 35, right? What is that? 80,000 a year? 45 and 35 is what, 80, right? Well, what are we talking about? 80,000 a year? Am I wrong? Somebody put it in the chat. You know, my math is always screwy. So a family or a couple making $80,000 a year can do well. You're not quite middle class because of inflation anymore, but you still can build on that if you work together. All of this myth uh, of the stay-at-home mom has never applied to black folks in any significant numbers. Black women have always worked. They've always generated some kind of income. Always. Throughout history. There are always exceptions, but we need to stop focusing on the exception. I don't want to hear about your mamas and what your mama did and what your granddaddy did and all of this, because most of it is bullshit. That's why nobody can show you any documentation, uh, and it's a very limited thing. They can't even tell you what granddaddy's business name was, where granddaddy worked. That was a different time. The economy was different. They didn't have no bills um in those days like we have bills today. Are you kidding me? What did they have? They had rent or a mortgage. They had a light bill. Car payments were virtually next to nothing. Hell, the house payment was virtually next to nothing. Hell, what we pay in utilities today would blow their minds. Most people didn't have cable, so we like to compare ourselves to other generations, and we don't analyze what were they actually bringing in and what were they actually paying. They weren't paying out like we're paying out. Their debt to income ratio was significantly different. Amina says what? Oh, she said yes, that is 80K. Okay, I thought I was doing it right. But they were able to gentrify neighborhoods because they worked together. They was able to save up for retirement because they were working together. They got a job and stayed on it to retire. We don't have that luxury today. The way these companies operate today. You're lucky if you can stay on a job past 5 years. That is not the normal today. It's a different economy. They didn't also have the entitlement programs that exist today that grandma didn't have access to that. Hell, we was lucky back in the day if you knew somebody who had food stamps and they sold them to you. And you got that damn block of welfare cheese that came in the brown box. Everybody loved that cheese. I know I did. But that was the most entitlement that came into most people's houses. A little bit of food stamps, maybe. It wasn't no Section 8 and all of these housing programs. But ranking men is important, ladies, because y'all will get with a two. All of the dudes you've been with were low quality dudes. They were twos and threes at best. Then you run across that dude who's a bona fide six. He's a slightly above average. But y'all ladies, y'all want to treat that two and the six as if they're the same quality or caliber man. Even though that six is three times better than the two. But y'all can't see it because y'all rank everybody the same. And at the same time, you overrank yourselves. I'm a good woman. I'm a great woman. I'm a eight. I'm a nine. Marriage isn't valued anymore. Some people get married just so they can say they're married. It's almost like going on a vacation, right? They want to be, oh, I went to Mexico. And they get to Mexico and it's not what they thought it was. Or they went to Jamaica and it wasn't what they thought it was. Now I've done it, so I'm done with it. I'm over it. That's the popular phrase. I'm over it now. So they get married because it's something they haven't done before and they want to be able to say they've done it because we've identified what 25% of women, less than 25% of women will be married in their lifetime. So that means 75% or more of black women will never be married in their lifetime. So they don't want to be caught up in that statistic. They want to be able to say, well, that ain't me. Even though they was only married for a couple of years. They was married long enough to get divorced. Just to be able to say they did it. I went to Mexico. I went to Jamaica. It's that kind of thing. They never got married with the intention on it lasting forever. They got married with the intention on, I want to be able to say I was married. I want to be able, because see, just saying I'm engaged don't have the same effect. They want to be able to say I was married. And he will, how long were you married? Oh, 2 years. That don't count. The ink ain't even dry yet on your damn marriage certificate. It ain't even dried yet. It ain't even processed through the system yet. A lot of y'all be pregnant longer than you was in a relationship. Tell me I'm lying. You spend more time in your life pregnant than you was in a functioning relationship with somebody. Here's the sad part about it. And a lot of us men, we don't, in this manosphere space, we don't understand statistics. We hear them and we're ready to use them against the woman in the argument, but you don't fully understand it. Less than 10%. And once you take out the baby boomers and solid generation women, the truth of the matter is 90% of black women will never be married in their lifetime. In some places in this country, it's already less than that. It's already less than 10%. That's 1 out of 10. And it's getting less than that. That is a problem. That's crisis level. Well, guess what? The paradigm shift is happening. It's already happened. We're living in it. So y'all niggas think jumping on Facebook, making little memes, and jumping on YouTube and making these posts and arguing with women is going to change that. It's not. It's not. 25% is a tipping point if we're moving in that direction. We're already below 10%, moving in the opposite direction. Statistically, it won't reverse. No paradigm shift ever gets reversed. The only way you're gonna fix this shit is if you get men together. Most people are gonna fucking burn and die. That's the facts. That's the facts. You can't save them. So creating these panels for likes and clicks and views is doing nothing. It's your own little therapy session. Isn't that what the Joker, when Keith Ledger's Joker, when when the mobsters was having that meeting, he said, I know what y'all are doing. I know why y'all having these meetings in broad daylight now. And you're having your little group therapy sessions. That's what Joker said. Y'all are doing the same shit. And you get a couple of likes and views and subscribers, and you get the big head and you think you're doing shit and you ain't did a goddamn thing. Nothing. But expose yourselves. And then we want to blame it on pearly things. I blame it on y'all. I blame it on y'all. Because you're not accomplishing in anything. You're not working towards any goal. No, nothing on a societal level in the history of this planet has ever been accomplished by arguing with a group of women. Nothing. Nothing. You're wasting your fucking time. But everybody thinks they're a leader when you've never led shit in your life. You've never been exceptional in your life. At best, you were average all your life. Most of you were below average. You were below average in high school. You barely graduated. If you were lucky enough to go to college when you graduated high school, you were average as fucking in high school. Only 19% of black men who attend a four-year university graduate. Only 24% of black women who attend a four-year university graduate. So that means 75 to 80% of us who attend a four-year university don't fucking graduate. Because we were told, get a job, go to school, or no, excuse me, go to school, do good in school, go to college, get a good job. That's what we were told. He started telling us that shit in the 80s. The paradigm shift was already occurring at that time. They weren't preparing us for the world that was coming. They were preparing us for a world that had already passed us by. That's what the older generations did. So now all we do, We spent the 90s in further sending dumb ass people to school. We're the only group of people who does that. No other group of people sends dumb people to school or average people to school. It doesn't work. So now we got a bunch of men who can't do shit with their hands. They can't do nothing. And we got a bunch of women who think they can do everything a man can do, even though there's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of it. There has been no progress. As I said in my first book, we're accelerating negatively in reverse. That's how you describe reverse in physics, negative acceleration. We haven't been progressing, we've been regressing. And we keep lying to ourselves. We keep fucking lying to ourselves. We're we're at war. First of all, and it's not the war we think it is. Most black people think the war that we're in right now is the battle of the sexes. That shit is over. And women lost. The battle of the sexes is done. It's over. Women lost. But the larger war is still going on, and we're losing that because most of us don't even realize it's going on. We're not even playing the game because most of us don't even realize what the game is. Two is always better than one. And then we tell ourselves these stupid things. If I'm pretty, I can get a man. Who the fuck told you that shit? Cosmopolitan magazine, Disney. When black men have, by their own actions and behaviors, have consistently said looks ain't even in a top 5 things that they want from a wife. Your mama wasn't no 8, 9, or 10. Neither was your grandmother. But yet they found a way to get married and stay together for 50 years. Looks wasn't important. Hair didn't matter. Behavior is what keeps you together and gets you together. Yes, looks are for an individual man. He needs to like what he sees. That's a fucking 5-minute thing in the very beginning. Once he moves past that in the first 5 minutes, what else? What other boxes is she checking? And it ain't fit, feminine, and friendly. That don't describe black women. Black men don't want fit as he was describing it. Skinny is basically what he meant by fit. That ain't what black men want. Feminine, I think that's a subjective word. And your mamas and your grandmamas didn't fit that category particularly. They didn't run around like these so-called foreign women and being docile. That ain't what black women have been. What the hell are we talking about? I've been talking about this for decades. But y'all like catchphrases. Y'all like, what is it? It's the word. The compartmentalized stuff. So Kevin was good at doing that. And that's what that fit, feminine, friendly. He was talking about 0.5% of black men, his boys. He wasn't talking about the majority of black men. I keep telling y'all, the majority of black men want peace, cooperation, and good head. And depending on the individual, there may be a couple of more things that that individual man wants. But 99% of men, even if they gay, want what I just said: peace, cooperation, and good head. I keep telling y'all this. Other people have told you. Dick Gregory spoke on this. That was a comedian I couldn't remember the last time. It was Dick Gregory who was saying shit like this. Cat Williams himself said it. However much dick you're sucking, suck twice as much, and that'll improve your relationship. Cat Williams not say that shit? Did he not say that? And I agree with him. It's that simple. It's that simple. Peace. You should find a peaceful man. No, ladies, you can't bring peace to that man. No, you can't build peace. Y'all don't build shit. That ain't what's being said. I'm going to be clear. Don't interrupt a man's peace. That's what it means. That's what men mean. Leave me the fuck alone sometime. I don't want to hear your long ass stories. I am not your girlfriend. I am not your homegirl. I don't want to hear every fucking story that happened on your job. That's what men are saying. But women put it in, I want a friend. I want my best friend. Who the fuck told you that stupid shit? Your husband or your man ain't supposed to be your best friend. It's not supposed to be that way. It's not what men want. Men don't want a friend. We don't even like being around y'all most of the time. That's the facts. Men like to go do shit by themselves for the most part. No, it's not an intangible. It's very tangible. Men are very specific. I want you to suck my dick. That's not an intangible. That's very specific. I want you to shut the fuck up sometime. It's very specific. I want you to be cooperative. I ask you to do something. Can you fucking do it? Peace, cooperation, good head. It ain't hard. If you ever been in a relationship with a woman, you've seen her fucking hair nappy. You didn't give a fuck. Not really. On a daily basis, you didn't really give a fuck. Every now and then she got her hair done, you going out, something special. Oh, you like, oh, baby, you look nice. But you didn't need her to look like that every fucking day. But we got too many men who don't know what the fuck they talking about in this space. They jumped on here yesterday and they heard a couple of talking points and now they started their own channels and they just want to argue with fucking women all the time. They're repeating the same shit. It's the same. Then they tell themselves, I'm doing something new. Ain't nobody did this over here before. They doing the same exact shit other people did a year ago, 2 years ago. And those channels have fizzled. They jumped up, they shot up for a little bit. Y'all bought some subscribers or whatever you did. And now you're fizzling because your content has gotten old and stale and you're just repeating the same shit. I've never watched a Kendra G show. I don't know what time it comes on. I see the little clips because y'all always showing them, but I don't make it a point to go watch that shit. To me, that's some gay ass shit that y'all do. But then when I ask y'all about men who are actually doing something, oh, I ain't never heard of him. I was in the chat or something on it. I think BMU's channel in the chat, and they were telling, well, men ain't doing nothing. And I said, well, have you signed up for the 17-point blackmail agenda? The dude in the chat says, I've never heard of it. No, because you're over here watching fucking niggas arguing with bitches. You ain't asking what men are doing and who I should be listening to. The 17-point agenda wasn't even, it got built up to 17 points. It didn't start out at 17. Men have collaborated with each other and built it up. I think when it started, it was like 10. And then it was at 14 for a little while. Last time I checked, it was at 17. The Onyx report. But you don't know because you're not qualified to have the conversation that you're trying to have. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you can't humble yourself down to admit to yourself, I don't know this thing. I don't have enough information. Maybe I should learn. But then at the same time, you want women to do that. Well, men, you create the culture. Women transmit the culture to the next generation. But y'all are the ones that create the culture and are responsible for manipulating the environment. But you're not doing that. You're not educating yourselves enough. You don't have enough humility. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Maybe I should listen. No, because you want to fucking lie in front like you're a leader and you've never been a fucking leader in your lives. When? Show me when you was a leader. Show me when you were exceptional or even above average. Let's start at above average. Most of you can't point to, not on no job was you ever a boss. You just had a regular ass job. Whatever that job may be, you weren't the best at it. You were just a regular guy. You were just one of the average guys doing it. You weren't above average for most of you. You've never been above average. You've been average at best all your life. Now your dumbass got a smartphone and a camera, and you think you're a scholar. Ain't read a fucking book ever. I find that ironic. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Death Note is in the house. We have God's gift who is blessing us. We know he's an insomniac like us. Welcome to the chat, Death Note. Nas says, hey, Death Note. It seemed a little sexual, that hey, Death Note, but I ain't gonna say nothing. But I read some sexual shit in there. He said, not the buying the subs. Yeah, no, they buying fucking subs. Because it's like crack. I said that in my book that got published, and that's on Amazon right now. Me dos centimos. That those likes and clicks would turn into dollars for them. That's what I said. That was one of my predictions back then. I guess that's what, 8 years, 9 years now. When I published that book was at 2015. The energy that it takes for you to click that like button, they found a way to monetize that energy. And it comes out in dollars for them on the other side. That's what I said. What happened? So Death Note says, why buy subs when you can get a tune up on your 300? Well, the reason why they buy subs because they want quick gratification. They want to get monetized as quick as possible. They want to be able to say that. Even though they're not making no money, they want to be able to say I'm monetized. They want to be able to brag, well, I got 10,000 now, I got 20, whatever it is. Even though when you look in their chats, their live streams, they only got like 5, 10 people. Right? How many of these can we've seen this consistently? And then they turn their channels into a bunch of arguing platforms where they're constantly bringing people up to argue. They don't bring people up to have good conversation. They bring people up to argue it and people who like to argue. That's what they do. That's the format. Debno says, or your 2000 Lexus LS. But this is why they're doing it. It's the same reason why ninjas run out and lease a car that they can't afford too soon so they could front like they're making more money than what they're making. I remember I used to take my kids to a neighborhood in Charlotte. It's called, and most people from Charlotte don't know anything about this wealthy neighborhood. It's Mountain Island Lake. You have a lot of millionaires that live out off of Mountain Island Lake. Um, they might not be the star on the Hornets or the Panthers, but they're a football player, basketball player. They live out there, or they might not be the CEO of Wells Fargo, but they're making good money, so they live out there too, right? I would take my kids out there like on a Tuesday because my house was like a mile away, and I would take my kids out there on a Tuesday. These people out there jet skiing and on boats and fishing, and I would drive through the neighborhood and show my kids. I said, look, how many luxury cars do you count? And my kids would always have to come back and say, no, Dad, I haven't seen any luxury cars. They would have regular cars, a F-150, a Camry, something like that. Just a regular car, decent cars, but just regular. You wouldn't see no Mercedes, no BMWs. And if you did see one of those, it was an older one, like they done had it for a while, right? Then we go back to the hood. Every new car imaginable was riding through the hood. Escalades, brand new with the rims. Suburbans the people could barely afford to put gas in. Because ninjas like to front. They don't like to actually accomplish things. They like to look like they did something. So they could brag to other ninjas. Yeah. Was on a panel the other night. This ninja's talking about his bastard kids are a legacy. Hmm. Because we don't understand what legacy is. Your children aren't your legacy. Your children are a tool to push your legacy to the next generation, but they themselves aren't the legacy. But ninjas don't understand anything about generation to generation or legacy because they've never seen a legacy. I said, you think having a bunch of bastard kids by ain't shit women is a legacy? Is that what you think? Ninja shit. And I guess you think that's air you're breathing, right? conversation over his head because they don't have the prerequisite information to have these conversations. So they hear little things and they gotta run their fucking mouths and they don't know what they're talking about.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
And that's what the manosphere has become. And we're supposed to be moving away from that because it's getting old. It's getting old. Nothing has been accomplished. What was accomplished on the manosphere in the last year? I'll wait. What growth happened? What progress happened? I'll wait. It was just a repeat of 2022. That's all it was. It was an exact repeat. Or did I miss something? Did I miss something? Well, yeah, I definitely agree with that statement. Death Note says those with wealth preserve it, while those without it flaunt it in the hopes of creating status. It's worse than that. People aren't even creating it. They're not even hoping. They're just lying to themselves that they already have it. Ninjas with fucking nothing. Nothing. Didn't Jay-Z talk about this on 444? We missed that, though. We missed it. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Then we didn't listen to the words, the lyrics of that song very well, did we? We missed them. The beat was catchy. That's all most of us remember. Oh, they were feeling it. They definitely were feeling 444. That was one of his best selling tours. That was one of, I mean, the shit went almost instantly platinum. I mean, it was successful. They were feeling it. The videos and everything. La La Land. I mean, 444 was hot, but they missed it like they always do, focusing on the wrong shit. Focusing on the wrong shit. And that's the other problem. We always got to feel something. How about just cooperate and follow fucking instructions? How about do what the rest of the damn population of the planet is doing for a change? Right? And it'd be so funny. I mean, these ninjas, they get up on these panels and they don't even bother Googling shit. Just basic shit. They were talking about the state senator who was twerking, and they were talking about, oh, she got reelected. No, she didn't. She didn't go through her reelection yet. She's still on her first term. And it wasn't Massachusetts, as they were saying, it was fucking Rhode Island. And she was LGBT. She's gay, which made it even more ironic. But just Googling, you could have found out this. This wasn't hard. Oh, my name was Tierra Mac or something. You could just put twerking senator, and it'll come up. I mean, come on. That thing was viral. I mean, she was standing upside down on the beach, twerking on her head. Y'all niggas just now talking about that. I did 2 streams on that shit. The irony, right? Yeah, I remember even having a conversation with somebody, and I corrected somebody once before on that she was from Rhode Island. Well, what difference does it make? The irony of her being from Rhode Island is because Hillary Rodham Clinton, that's where her family originates from. The Blue Bloods. Before she became a Clinton, she was a Rodham. Old money. You got old money in Rhode Island. So this gay LGBT gets to be a state senator and twerk in a bikini upside down. In that state, the irony. The irony. No, it's not black culture. And very few things are black culture. That upside down twerking didn't come from black people, black Americans. When we when we started bringing all of these foreign quote unquote melanated people from Jamaica and Haiti, where they've been doing that shit for generations over here in the 90s, and they hypersexualized our women, that came from those people. That's not black culture. We didn't see that before the 90s. So, and that's why I always try to correct people when they start talking about, oh, this is black culture. No, that didn't come from us. Because again, when you do root cause analysis, you quickly get to a date where you saw this and then you didn't see it. And that was in the 90s. What happened in the 90s? The quotas got increased where quote unquote so-called other black people from other parts of the world were allowed to come over here, and they came over their numbers almost quadrupled. Those immigration numbers almost quadrupled. When you look at the hypersexualization, especially as it relates to the hip-hop culture, all of those people who were bringing that and infusing that, they all weren't black Americans. Historically, they weren't ADOS. Your Foxy Browns, your Lukes, your Little Kims, your Biggies, um, any of those Trinas. These were all of the people from the islands, the Trinidadians, the Jamaicans, the Haitians, and whatever other island they came from. They brought that dysfunctional shit over here. We weren't doing that before they came over here. We had a different culture. Turn off the lights, light a candle. That's the kind of music we was making. And then when hip hop came in, what was we making? Fight the power. That's what we was doing in the late 80s. We was fighting the power. We was doing the sympathy. We was doing edutainment. And that all changed as we got deeper into the 90s and more of them started coming over and bringing their dysfunctional ass culture with them. And we so quick to embrace other groups of people who look similar to us, but they're not us. And that's what hypersexualized Black America, as we call it today. But that ass, though, right? But that ass, though. But we got to start being honest about where things come from. Because them people never wanted to be black. I grew up there. I was there when they started coming over. They didn't want to be with us. They thought they was all better than us. Now all of a sudden, 2000 hit, everybody want to be black. Whereas before they wasn't black. They was something else. Now ain't we all black? But that ass though. I guess I'm wrong. Because I got the balls to say it. I got the balls to say it. This shit is ironic. And now we even letting white people infuse our spaces here. We got the black spaces, but we love for somebody white to come jump up in our space and try to infuse the white perspective into the black conversation. Why are you here? And then now even them, some of them are trying to prove how non-white they are. And I guess by being non-white, that makes them more black. I don't understand the logic, but that's what they're trying to do. And y'all get mad at me when I call them out on it. I'm the asshole. I'm the asshole for saying something. What happened to good fences make good neighbors? What happened to that? Nah, y'all just let them come all across that fence and jump in the damn spades game like they've been there the whole time, right? We the only group of people that allows other people from other cultures to jump up in our cultural conversations. Don't nobody else do that. Don't nobody else allow that shit. But we always looking to save Massa House. Yeah. No racism over. Can't we all just get along? We still got that shit on us. As the Bible calls them, the strangers among us. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. But we're gonna go back to vetting. We're gonna talk a little more about that in ranking. So in order to vet, you gotta be able to rank somebody. You gotta understand the value of a person before you even start ranking. I mean, before you start vetting them. Because what are you vetting? Why are you vetting a two? Why are you even vetting a two? But see, we don't understand classism, right? Classism doesn't matter how much money you have. You're still the class you are. You don't get to jump classes just because you make X amount of dollars. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. We don't understand pedigree. That's what language. That's what lineage, pedigree. We don't understand those concepts. And everything now was just ghetto. Y'all love putting that ghetto label or hood label. I grew up in a time being from the hood meant something. It was a source of pride. The hood was just short for the neighborhood. Those neighborhoods that our grandparents gentrified coming out of the Great Migration into the North and West. And they worked hard. And we had pride in our neighborhoods. That's what the hood meant. But we just put anybody who's ratchet now is like ratchet and hood have become synonymous some kind of way. That's what's happened. My brother Oculus Crown. I know you an insomniac as hell. What the hell time is brother Oculus is over there on over there in the in Alaska. Shout out to Alaska. Y'all ain't even know they had ninjas out there in Alaska. He ain't from Alaska, but that's where he's at. He in the army. We appreciate your service, my brother. As always. But yeah, we just got a little insomniac theater. I dropped a link for those of you, hey, if y'all want to riff off with me. I'll bring anybody up who wants to come up. You do not have to be on camera, but definitely bond your manners. You know how we do over here. You know, strap in with us. We ain't gonna do that drive-by shit over here. We gonna talk over here. We gonna talk over here. Yeah, my brother, it's always good hearing from you. You're supposed to call me back, man. But you know, I know you be busy saving the world and shit, you know. Keeping Sarah Palin secured over there in Alaska, you know, making sure the Russians don't get her. You know, I know you got a busy job, you know. So what are we talking about? Ladies, you got to do a better job of recognizing men. All men aren't equal. And it's very simple. Ask these niggas what they've done. Ask them. What accomplishments have they made since 18? Ask them. What are y'all talking about on your first dates? You ain't asking them no historical questions. What are your 5-year plans, Mr. Black Man? If I'm going to give you this pussy, at least I should know what your plans are for the next 5 years. I think that's fair. And a lot of y'all, oh, this after dark. I could say the word pussy after dark, so don't get offended. Some of y'all sensitive. Oh, I can't believe he said pussy. Yeah, I said pussy. God doggone right. That ass though. All that shit is gonna come out over here. All that. Have y'all forgotten who y'all talking to?
I violate all your personal space, bitch. I'm that cousin always on punishment. I'm not the nigga you could play with.
Y'all better act like y'all know y'all over here on the People's Channel. And I am your host, V Ben Israel, the People's Champ. Y'all gonna get all that real talk over here. If you're sensitive, take your punk ass on. Move around. There are plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets. You're gonna get the truth over here. You're gonna get some scripture over here. Am I gonna hold your hand and coddle you? Fuck no. None of that's happening over here. You gonna get the raw dog. We gonna put it all in your mouth. Shout out to the lead attorney. We gonna long stroke you over here. And we gonna put that whole thing in your mouth over here. So if you ain't used to that, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You in the wrong place. And I guess you think that's air you're breathing. Hmm. I guess you think that's air you're breathing. Link is in the chat. Don't be hate watching. Don't be hate watching. Some of y'all be hate watching me, man. I know that nigga gonna say something about me. I know y'all be thinking that shit. Have you not been watching my platform for the last decade? I say it to your face. And it ain't my fault your grandmama ain't had no drawers on. That ain't my fault. But you mad at me because I told the truth about grandmama. Miss Barbara. And I told the truth about your granddaddy, Percy Earl. Y'all get mad at me, though. You get mad at me. Percy Earl, shout out to Percy Earl. He's still out here slinging. Percy Earl still out here slinging the D. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at Percy Earl. He an old school player from the Himalayas. What Romy Rome tell us? Y'all know what y'all getting over here? Y'all know what y'all getting in over here? Yeah, man, let's see what we got. We got comments. What Dovna said. Devno says, I did say that there needs to be a stream talking about vetting the opposite properly for both men and women. We gotta stop doing that both men and women shit. Gotta stop doing that. Men ain't got time to be vetting shit. Men need to get the fuck to work. That's what men need to do. Men need to know how to vet that damn job. That's what men need to be doing. They ain't got time to be chasing pussy. That's what men have fucked up. They spend too much time chasing pussy. Everything they do is about chasing pussy. How they get their haircuts, what car they wear, what sneakers they buy, how they wear their clothes. Too much fucking shit is about chasing pussy that they ain't even fucking getting. Get to fucking work. If you build it, they will come. We ain't got to vet a woman. All we need to know, do she suck my dick the way I want it sucked? And will she follow some goddamn instructions? Ain't no vetting in that. We complicated this shit. The women need to know how to vet. They need to understand the ranking. So we ain't got the vetting yet. They need to get to ranking, understanding there are differences between men. All men ain't created equal. There are differences. That's what women need to focus on. Be continuously with a godly man. That's what the instructions are. Be continuously with a godly man. Adam didn't get to vet Eve. Eve just showed up. Adam had work to do. He had shit he had to do around the world. He had to fucking subdue the animals and name them. He had a job to do. He ain't had time to vet Eve. All Adam needed to know was what that mouth do. That's all Adam needed to know. Relationships are a lot simpler than what we've made them to be. We've overcomplicated them. And men are trying to do things they don't have time for. And women are trying to do things that they don't have time for. And nobody is doing the shit that they were designed to do. That's the problem. We got to get real. Got to get real. And we making up all these different scenarios, and we're finding reasons to exclude each other, not include each other. That's what's happening. That's what's been happening in the last 50 years. That's why so many women are looking for men who don't exist. They don't exist. And we know it's going to continue. We know it's going to get worse because the Bible tells us so. And in the end, after it's all said and done, in case y'all never read the damn book of Revelations, it tells you it's going to be 7 women for every man, and them bitches going to be begging for that man. So why y'all trying to stop this shit from happening? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. In the meantime, do your job. Black man, do your job. Stop worrying about silly shit. You got men out here who ain't never been with a woman or haven't been with no women in any significant numbers. And they talking about running overseas to go find a woman because they can't find one here. And they fucking 25 years old. What the fuck are you talking about? Then you ask them a simple question: how many relationships, or what is your longest relationship? They got to go back to fucking high school. They was in a 2-year relationship, they sophomore year in high school, and that's their led them to believe this revelation that they got to get a passport. Niggas ain't even had a bus card. Stop. When we gonna start telling the truth? 40% of the millennials are virgins. 40%. A tipping point is 25%. 40% of them are virgins. These niggas ain't getting pussy, but they jump up on these panels and act like they all getting pussy and they all max and players and shit. And what they say is just fucking stupid and unrealistic. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe y'all hearing something differently than what I'm seeing.
See, that nigga wanted the honey. All we wants is the money.
Maybe I'm missing it. No, V, you wrong. It ain't that bad, V. Okay. Yeah, how you explain it? How do we explain this mess? They following the same playbook as their punk ass daddies. They pussy whooped punk ass daddies. Because we lie. You know how hard it was to get pussy in the 70s for the average man? But everybody think they daddy was the exception. That's what we think. Them niggas wasn't getting no pussy. Them niggas hadn't even seen pussy, most of them in person. That's why you had the peep shows on 42nd Street in the 80s. You had the Playboys and Penthouse magazine collections that your daddies was hiding from everybody in the house. That wasn't going on. That wasn't the norm. And then VHS tapes came out, and them niggas was spending $50 on a VHS tape so they could sneak and watch porn when they wives wasn't around, when the girls wasn't around. Yeah. Or am I the only one to know this was happening? I'm lying. Nah, man, my daddy was getting it. My daddy was a player, man. My daddy was a player. You ain't gonna talk about my daddy like that. Fuck your punk ass daddy. The first piece of pussy that nigga even smelled was your mama's. Just be real about it. Hell, finger fucking wasn't even a thing until the late 80s and 90s. That wasn't your daddy wasn't finger fucking. Y'all better get real, man. Y'all better get real. I'm checking to see if anybody's come up in the back chat. No, I don't have nobody yet. But the link is in the comments, man. Anybody wants to come up and get some, and go one-on-one with the great one, is more than welcome. We're gonna do this in Insomniac Theater together, man. We're gonna do it together. It's supposed to be a family show. Remember, I'm that cousin that's always on punishment. I'm not the nigga you could play with. Somebody better talk to me. Somebody better talk to me. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. Thank you. Then these ninjas get mad because this whole theory, this theoretical bullshit that they made up in their head ain't working in real life, and they get frustrated. And these panels and their channels turn into just their personal therapy sessions. Ain't that the same shit y'all been complaining that the women are doing? And y'all act like a bunch of bitches. Yeah, I said it. With y'all fake masculinity. Y'all a bunch of bitches, man. You on here again creating avatars online, trying to reinvent yourselves. Or am I lying? Again, because y'all average basic ass dudes and you always been corny. You corny as fuck, most of you. And you was corny as fuck all of your life. Show and prove. If I'm wrong, show me some evidence that says otherwise. If I'm wrong. And that's why they dying, they thirsty as hell, and they're dying from attention from women. It's like crack to them. Most of these girls on these panels be ugly or average. I'm not even gonna call them ugly. They be average at best. And these niggas be drooling all over them and hanging on to every fucking word they say. Am I lying? Am I lying? Nah, fuck a hobby. They need to get to work. They ain't got time for hobbies. They ain't got time to play. They need to get to fucking work. That's that goofy shit that women ask when you first meet them. What you do for fun? Get the fuck out my face. If you 35 plus, you ain't got no time for no woman to be asking you what you do for fun. Again, that's women trying to turn you into their friend and play games. Hobbies and fun and games and shit. Whatever our hobby is, we don't want to do it with women anyway. That's not what men do. Hobby is for people who got time. Got time. They need to work. Damn paradigm shift is coming. AI is about to change everything and wipe us out in the next couple of years. That shit is here. Niggas ain't got time to be playing hobbies. Better find out how you gonna be earning income in the next 5 years. That's what we need to be finding out. We about to get wiped the fuck out. Niggas on here looking for pussy and fun. And then when they get the pussy, they don't even know what to do with the pussy. That's the fucked up part. They do all of this shit talking, all of this tough guy talk, all this masculine talk, and the girl finally give them some pussy, and they can't live up to it.
See, that nigga wanted the honey. All we want is the money.
They can't live up to it. They can't even stay in the pussy long enough. Not even beyond 10 minutes. I done heard the horror stories. I get the hey V's. Oh, y'all don't want to go there. I start hurting people's feelings. I start hurting some feelings. I start hurting feelings. Who was that said that shit? Richard Gere. Goddamn, what movie was that? Richard Gere was a dirty cop. I can't remember the name of the movie, but he was a dirty cop. And he has said to the younger cop, he said, I bet you still fuck you still so in love, you still fucking your wife face to face. That's what Richard Gere said. That God dog, what's the name of that movie? It'll come to me eventually. I'm a movie buff. Y'all know I'll be having a million movie quotes in my head. But that's a deep shit he said to the dude. You probably still fucking your wife face to face because you're so in love. You can't even flip over and hit it from the back. It's a lot of these dudes. And then your girl get pissed off at you because, again, you talked all of that big talk. And she finally gave you some. And you basically gave her the three-stroke special. And went to sleep. I done heard the stories, man. I done got hey V's with the girls be complaining. Because y'all niggas, again, was corny. You wasn't getting no coochie in middle school. You wasn't getting no coochie in high school. You wasn't finger fucking nobody in class or otherwise. You wasn't hooking up with girls after school, below the bleachers, on the bus to the game, because y'all wasn't on that bus. Y'all was the corny dudes. You wasn't in band. You wasn't on the track team. You ain't have no close proximity to the girls. After school, the good girls, most of them, they just went on home. They went home after school. They ain't had no reason to stay late. Most girls, they didn't have no reason to stay late. And the ones that stayed late, they was in close proximity to the above average guys who was participating in extracurricular activities. That ain't most of you guys. Goofy asses. Hell, y'all wasn't even getting coochie in church. And everybody knows church girls is the easiest. I guess y'all ain't never been to Vacation Bible School. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. That's how I know. I could tell. Everybody claim they went to church, but you very rarely hear anybody talk about them Vacation Bible Schools. Or them church trips. Yeah. I know. Because y'all was corny, man. Y'all was corny. But y'all always talking about hood chicks. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Hell, it was quote unquote the good girls who was doing the most fucking. Freshman year in college, them girls who they was raised at home by mama and daddy and had never been away from home. Them was the easiest ones freshman year. Hell, they was fucking their whole time in college. They couldn't wait to get to college to fuck. But y'all don't know that because y'all wasn't there. Y'all was below average. You wasn't there. Mm. Yeah, I know it hurts. I know it stings. Some of y'all dudes now, y'all work in the medical field. Y'all work at hospitals and um dialysis clinics. Y'all got the most access to these chicks. Y'all ain't fucking. Y'all ain't doing shit. It be like one black guy at the on your whole department. You know how easy it is for you to be fucking these nurses and these CNAs? Y'all ain't doing it because y'all corny. The only time them girls talk to you is when they want to switch schedules with you so they can get off and go fuck somebody else. Boy, y'all don't want this after dog talk now. Y'all don't want it. I'm getting too real. I'm hitting too close to home. Girls in the nursing field is some of the easiest women. They the horniest. Oh, they at work 16 hours a day, ain't that what they all say? So you could dip off in some room, some closet, some empty space in the hospital. They got all kind of hiding spaces in the hospital. Y'all better stop. Y'all niggas ain't doing shit. Y'all niggas be at work trying to be on YouTube to get some attention from women when you work with a whole building full of them. Are you goofy or what? Better not go there with me. I'll hurt your feelings. I'll make you famous. I'll make you famous. Oh, no pussy getting motherfuckers. Ain't that what I keep saying? Ain't that what I keep saying to y'all? Mm. That's why they popping in and out of here, boy. They like, nah, we don't want to fuck with this nigga tonight. Let's see what Oculus says. Uh-oh. You said no facts. Oculus said facts. Oculus says, wait a minute. Oculus says pussy won't matter when the robots looking at you at the counter and you out of a job. No, they gonna have robots fucking. What you talking about? AI is about to be a beast. These girls ain't gonna be able to sell pussy. They gonna have pussy robots. TV has been preparing us for what was to come. What was that movie? AI was the name of the movie with the little. They created the little boy, the little AI boy, right? And he was going off to find his creator, or no, he was going off to find the fairy, so the fairy could make him a real boy. And he hooked up. Who was his partner that was guiding him? A fucking sex robot. I mean, really, that shit has been in our media for years. AI was gonna make sex. They were gonna make sex bots. That shit is coming, and these girls ain't gonna know what to do. Cause see, right now, men ain't got nothing but a fleshlight, and that never really caught on for men, right? But women got vibrators and they got all kind of toys. Men don't have but that one little flesh thing, fleshlight they call it. All right, that shit corny. Wait till the damn robots. Wait till they start getting these sex bots. Watch, that shit is coming. Did I not just talk about this couple of months ago with Amazon had added what 750,000 robots down there in Texas to their plant? That's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. These robots about to have big booties and titties. They gonna be sucking dick. Watch. Watch. Blade Runner, Cyberpunk, and the list keeps growing. Yeah, they've been prepping us for this shit for for about 30 years, man. That shit is coming. Most of these girls who work in healthcare, they don't do shit. They not nurses. They CNAs. They might be a phlebotomist at best. They gonna have robots doing all that shit better. The robots is gonna be sticking you with the needle. When I go to dialysis, that's what the girls do. The dialysis techs, they stick me with the needle. That's the most interaction. It takes less than 5 minutes for them to stick me with both needles. They're gonna have a robot doing it. And better. They're gonna be out of work. They're gonna have robots dispensing medicine, checking your blood pressure. It's gonna be all automated. That shit is coming. Hell, it's here now. As far as I really don't need nobody to hook up my blood pressure. They got a cuff that you could put on yourself. Like when you buy the blood pressure machine at home, it's a cuff that's designed for you to put it on yourself. It's very easy. They gonna have them. So they ain't gotta check my blood pressure. They ain't gonna have to stick the needle in me. The robot's gonna be sticking the needle in me. What do I need these bitches for? What else do they do? Exactly. 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 Well, what else he saying? Wait a minute. Hold on. Exactly. It'll be less painful and more accurate. Right now, there's like one girl at my clinic who can stick me perfectly every time. Out of the 50, is one who can do it. But pretty soon they're gonna have robots doing it perfect every fucking time. It ain't gonna be no pain. Yep. And I get stuck with a needle 3 times a week, twice a day. That's 6 times a week minimum. Minimum. So getting less pain is very attractive to me. They're not gonna need them girls there. Bitching and complaining about how tired they are. Because that's all they want to do. I'm tired. I work 16-hour days. But you ain't doing shit most of the time you're there. Most of the time they sitting there texting on their phone and doing bullshit. Like I said, after the first 5 minutes, that's how fast they can hook me up. 5 minutes. What else are they doing? Nothing. Nothing much. But they can't be honest with themselves. You see that same attitude. I don't care where they work. If they working in Walmart, they got the same. They doing the same shit. They standing around with their little yellow vest on, texting. Ain't nobody hardly on the register, and they act like they so exhausted. And if you ask them a question, they act like they're bothering you, or you're bothering them rather. That shit. Go to McDonald's. Same thing. Go to Bojangles, same thing. Go to Target, wherever you go, except for Chick-fil-A, you get that same fucking attitude from them. Am I lying? Am I lying now? I mean,
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
and if you have a problem, oh, you better not have a problem, because guess whose fault it's gonna be if you have a problem.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done. I'm done.
It's always Jermaine's fault. They're fucking their personal relationships up, and they're fucking their work relationships up. They can't do good or perform high at on either level. Even when they go on vacation, they fucking it up. They go on vacation to other countries, they're getting fucked up because people are tired of dealing with that attitude. So, ladies, the moral of the story is, if you want to fix or if you want to get a man, remember, men want peace, cooperation, and not and good head. You gotta have all three of those things. And most of y'all give average head or below average head. Work on that shit right there. Fix that part. That will dramatically improve your relationship. Learning how to give some good head and be willing and happy to do it. Be willing and happy. Let's talk about vetting. I've kind of been talking about not really been talking about vetting. Simple things. I've talked about this before. How do you know that nigga is a pookie? He got a baby mama or he got multiple baby mamas. If he got multiple baby mamas, he's a pookie. I don't care how much money he makes, where he works. Multiple baby mamas typically equals pookies. Now I ain't talking about a dude who had a baby at an early age and then he got his shit together. I'm talking about this nigga 35 with five baby mamas. And that's all he do is make baby mamas. Pookie. Niggas that hang out in bars, more than likely they're gonna be a pookie. Who the fuck is going to bars nowadays? Is that still a thing? Stop. Stop. I mean, some of this is just common sense shit. Is he sagging his pants? He's a pookie. I mean, some of this is common sense. Where has he worked? He 35. What is his longest job? Amazon? He been at Amazon for 2 years? Pookie. He wasn't even good enough to work at a call center. I mean, some of this stuff is common sense. He's 47 years old. What is his longest job? I want to know. I would like to know what the fuck has he been doing for the last 20 years? I'm 47, that's why I picked that number. So from 27 to 47, what has this ninja been doing? He got to be able to explain that gap. He got to be able to explain that gap. What the fuck has he been doing? We ain't even asking even if he was the best at his job. Where were you at? Where were you working? Oh, he was in the military. How long was he in the military? When did he go in? And when did he get out? And what has he been doing since? Somebody was in the military for 2 years. I don't give him no credit. Unless he got hurt. Now that's something different. If he got hurt, something different. I'm talking about somebody who just got discharged. What the fuck did he do in the military? A lot of pookies going in the military because they ain't have no other options when they got out of high school. They had to go into the military because their parents was gonna kick them out. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. What the hell has this ninja been doing? That's one of the biggest ways you could vet. What has he done with his time? What has he been doing over time? I'll wait. That's what I want to know. These are the questions I need answers to. Kill the Riddick, kill the Riddick, kill the Fury, and kill the Riddick. But listen, man. That's all I'm giving y'all tonight. I think I done beat this horse enough. Shout out to my people on the West Coast who came through, like Brother Crown. Shout out to all my regulars. I appreciate y'all coming through as well. Again, my name is V Ben Israel. This is the People's Channel. And we were riffing after dark a little bit, man. But now it's time to say goodnight.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what I make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy.